this is what made our closing percentage in terms of how many people we gave sales presentations to versus how many people bought jump from about 60% to over 90%. And what this was something taught to me by my coach, again, Jarek Robbins, and he smacked me upside the head. And I realized this was in between, before the first appointment, nothing happened. They would book on my calendar and nothing happened. And then after the first appointment, nothing happened until they did a second appointment. And then after that, nothing happened. And it was a huge, huge missed opportunity. So we implemented, this is our pre-first appointment follow-up sequence. So this is our Infusionsoft CRM. And you will see, the shapes may not mean anything to you, and that's okay. It is a 4-step email sequence. So when someone books on our calendar for getting help with their marketing, they get 4 emails before that appointment happens. And each one of those emails is about a different topic and has them watch, the homework assignments, they have to watch a different video. So they will have watched 4 videos before they get to talk to me. And those 4 videos pre-frame who I am, who we are, what we do it, why we do it, who we do it for, and what type of results they can expect, so that they are pre-sold. And all of the frequently asked questions we would get: how long you been doing this? Tell me about how you do it. What do you do? Who else? What proof do you have? All of those are answered ahead of time. And I have been built up and pre-framed in their mind so that by the time they actually get to have a conversation, what's really cool, this was not my intent, but I have people going, oh my God, I can't believe I get to talk to you. I thought I would talk to some sales rep. I can't believe this is so cool. I feel like I'm talking to a rock star. And I'm like, well, I'm not really a rock star, maybe in the podcast world, but thank you. So it totally changes the game from, okay, tell me what you're going to sell me and how you can help me, to, oh my God, this is so awesome. I'm excited and I don't even know, what you're going to recommend yet. So they're almost pre-sold. And then after the first meeting, our first meetings are fact find, whether in financial services, marketing, or publishing. You got to learn, you got to get to know your client, your prospect. So between the first meeting and the second meeting, we as a team are creating their proposal for how we're going to solve their marketing challenge. So while we're doing that, we always set that appointment at the end of the first call. So we never leave a call without setting up another call. But between the end of the first appointment and when the second appointment happens, we have a 3 email sequence educating them on what we're going to create for them and why they're going to want to do it, and some other examples of folks that it's worked for. So once again, they're getting educated as to what we're doing, so they're appreciating the process, and they're getting reinforced for making a smart decision in advance to hire us, even though they haven't committed to anything yet. And then the second call is our proposal, where we say, here's how we're going to solve your problem. And then if they don't buy right on that call, we have a 2-step follow-up sequence where they click a link that tells us, I want to do it, I just have more questions, in which case it takes them to book another call. I'm ready. I thought about it and I'm ready. Send me paperwork. We send them a contract. Or they change their minds and they want to start over and look at something else, which turns into another first call. Or I'm not interested, I can't afford it, it's not for me, blah, blah, blah. And they click a link and tell us that. And then we don't spend any more time chasing them. And they go back into a general marketing drip sequence when we send out emails that keeps showing up, keeps adding value. And eventually we've seen sometimes people who said no 2 months ago keep getting dripped on, and they come back to us and say, oh, I'm ready now. Or I got more business, I can afford it now. Or, you know what, somebody else told me I really should do this, so now I'm ready. So pre-first appointment, in between first and second, and then post-pitch, those 3 follow-up sequences. And right now they're just email. We are adding text messaging. We are adding voice broadcast, and hopefully we'll eventually add direct mail, and that will take it even higher. So if you don't have these in your business, I would suggest it costs you nothing to build them. I would highly suggest it. It's been game changing for us. It's created new jobs here. So I would absolutely suggest you add those in. Hang on one of our latest rounds of Facebook testing. So this gentleman who hired us is what I would affectionately call an energy healer. So I don't know if that's a real job description, but he hired us to drive traffic to his webinar where he wanted people to pay for the webinar. He said, I don't do free webinars. They got to pay $35 for a ticket. I want naturopaths. I want chiropractors. I want acupuncturists. I want nurses. I want healthcare professionals who want to learn how to heal their patients. This is not prescribe you a pill or an adjustment or a potion or a lotion. This is, I'm going to vibrate and do whatever it is I do, and they are going to be healed. So spiritual energy healing. I am making no claims about whether or not he can do what he does. Obviously, he's very successful and has plenty of testimonials. Again, I make no health claims on this mastermind group, but I'm just giving you the backstory. So he had a landing page that was the webinar, punch in your credit card and register. So there was no pre-fame, there was no funnel, there was no opt-in. It was buy or go away. I suggested to him that next time we do work on another webinar, there should be a funnel. And the other thing he does is that I disagreed with is he goes from give me $35 for the webinar. On the webinar, he pitches a $35,000 program, which is study with me on Zoom for 4 days. I will download this healing energy into you. You will now be able to heal the way I heal people. And I will give you 6 months of Zoom, Facebook, live video, like support. So it's literally a business opportunity, but there's no marketing or business included. It's just, I will make you a spiritual healer in 4 days. I suggested don't go from $35 to $35,000. That's too big a leap. How about 35 to $697 because he has a course. Then he has a higher level course at $3,000. Then he's got another course at $8,000. I said, let's baby step them up the ladder. And I said, who are the most people who hire you for the 35 grand? Do healers who don't know you hire you for that? He said, not normally. Normally it's a healer, it's a doctor I've healed. So they paid him 8 grand to be healed of their own health issue that they couldn't fix. And then they give him the 35 grand and say, that worked. I want to know how to do it on my patients. Are you following the model that he's got so far? Give me a yes in the chat box before I show you the ads. Yes. Awesome. Okay. So we ran 30. I only had a week to fill his webinar. He hired us at the last minute. So we ran 34 different ad sets. They were all lead form ads, which means they had to fill out a form because he didn't have an opt-in on the webinar page. It's straight to a sale. I said, we need some way to capture their information before they get to the page that says, give me $35. So these are all lead form ads, meaning they filled out a form inside of Facebook with their name, email, cell phone, and some other questions before they got to his sales page for the webinar. Yes, David, that is you in the corner. When I was taking screenshots for this mastermind, you and I had just talked. Good catch. So we ran 34 different ad sets. We ran about 15 different videos and 15 different images, testing them against each other. I thought the video testimonial from other doctors saying this had healed them was going to be the best performing ad. I was totally wrong. None of the videos were the best performing ads. Normally video wins in Facebook advertising. The images won. In the best image, it got 49 leads at $3.09 a pop, which I never thought would have happened, is this picture that looks like it's Jesus, Buddha, and the Virgin Mary. It's a picture of those people, and it says, join us for healing mastery and improve your patient results. And it says, Ed has worked with people across the planet from a wide range of ailments, from bad backs and injured knees to life-threatening diseases from across the planet by phone or Zoom. What Ed will be sharing, teaching, and training to a very select group of practitioners is the high and narrow road of spiritual healing. This is for the brave and serious ones who've decided to break new boundaries and make a positive difference. It will be teaching like no other, blah, 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 blah. The second best image was his logo. The best performing video ad was Dr. Robert Early, who's an emergency room tech doc, talking about how Ed healed him. In terms of audiences, Ed wanted to go worldwide because he has clients and doctors all over the world. I disagreed. I lost because I'm the client. He's the client. So our audience size was literally like 90 million people, which is way too broad. Now you'll see we have we had 44 different interests, everything from the American Chiropractic Association to chiropractic education, to surgical nursing, to oncology nursing, all kinds of interests to hopefully lead us to believe that the people seeing the ads would be in the healthcare profession. So I told them for the next wave, we need more than a week's notice. I would like to run 44 different ads. I would like to run a different ad set at every single interest and split test images and videos for each of them. So it's going to be like 88 ad sets. But that way we can narrow it down. We ended up spending $1,800 and generating about 400 people, 400 leads. So you will see our click-through rates were anywhere. A normal click-through rate on Facebook is considered 1%. That's if 100 people see your ad, one person clicks. That's 1%. So we had click-through rates of 3%, 2%, 5%, 6%. So our click-through rates were really high, which suggests that we've got ads that were compelling to the people who saw them. We just needed to narrow the audience focus and do more testing on the next webinar to see if we can get, even though the cost per lead is $4.96, can we get that number down more? And can we get more people to show up? So I'm going to stop there for a minute and let you ask questions about either. Our implementation contest is if you were here last month, you are eligible. And if you watched the videos and you did something you learned and you tell us about it, we all vote, and whoever gets the most votes wins $100 in cash. So the first, we had one submission via the mail this month, which is from a member of ours who did a shock and awe box. So a shock and awe box is what you send someone who's a high-level prospect who requests information, and either they requested your white paper, your report, or your book, and you send them a physical box in the mail that shocks them because they're not expecting it, awes them, forgive the military analogy, blows them away, and totally changes the conversation. So this is what his box looks like. This is for Advisor Wealth Mastery. It's for another mastermind group in the financial services space. In it, there's two things of popcorn. There's a thank you card. There is copies of both the books he's written and the books he's in. There is a flash drive in the shape of a key with a video. You can see that there's a phone number and a URL, call to action. There are a whole bunch of reports that are printed on glossy paper, a big thank you card, and then a sales flyer telling you what you get when you join the mastermind group. So Stephen did a fantastic job on an awesome shock and awe box. He's not here today, but he did it. So we're going to give him a virtual round of applause and ask all of you who were here last month, what did you get done? So Adrian, Dale, Irene, Shayna, what did you get done in the last month or implemented?
Wow. That's awesome. I love that. I've been thinking about doing one for my weight loss book, but I don't know if it's a good idea, but I have not done it. Mine is nowhere on scale, but I did create for my podcast power book. For anyone who buys my Podcast Power book, they get a free course as a surprise on how to prepare for an interview, what equipment they need, and how to overcome imposter syndrome. So it's just a free surprise course.
Awesome. Let's
So
give Irene a round of applause. She did something. Hey, Irene, you know what? I have 3 chapters in my new book that are about podcasting that I am not the best expert to write because I'm an expert at hosting shows. I'm not necessarily an expert on other people's shows. Can I send you the questions and see if you want to contribute to my book?
Absolutely.
This is not a 27. This isn't a 27 co-author book. It's literally, you would be the only other person.
Yay, definitely. I'm in. And don't forget, you told me you'd write the foreword on Podcast Power.
Yes, I did. Okay. Anybody else get anything done?
I finished my book with Bruce's incredible help.
Awesome. Give Shayna a hand.
That would be this. Is that not a gorgeous looking cover? And
Pleasure.
we are in the process of, we're getting the printed book published now. The Mobi, which is the format you need for a Kindle, is being made. And I expect by early next week, I will get that uploaded to Kindle. And then once it's live on Kindle, we can schedule her promotion, which is going to be a 1-day free download of the Kindle version. So that will be coming up within the next month. Long time showing off really, really quick. Speaking of promotions like that, this is the last book we did. You'll notice it's bigger. We ended up doing, it's not our usual type of book. This is actually a manual, an instruction manual that a local doctor did for, he is a hair replacement doctor. So it is for other hair replacement doctors, those who are just starting out, those who want to grow their practice. The goal of it is to get them to come on with him, either as a franchisee or get him to train them. And we got this book. This one does not have the #1 bestseller badge on it because Kristen ordered some copies prior to the launch. But we got him #1 in a couple of categories, including plastic surgery, I believe. But we had a very, very successful launch for him. And it's a nice 8.5 by 11 training manual. And one personal note, when I had my first interview with him to write his chapter for the book, when a hair replacement doctor says to you, you know, you've got a nice head of hair, that's a good thing.
Thank you for the shameless self-promotion, Bruce. That's awesome. All right. So, Irene.
I did stuff too.
Adrian, your turn.
I did a 3-day mastermind class on Facebook to promote my Divorce Academy online course. Yay. Yes.
Yay.
I got it done and got my first sale.
Woohoo! All right. Give her a round of applause for that. That's even better. We should do that 3-day course again and run some Facebook ads.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm meeting with you in 40 minutes to discuss some of that. All right. Anybody else? All right. So you're going to send me a direct private message on Zoom, and you are either voting for Adrian, you are voting for Shayna, you are voting for Irene. I'm going to disqualify Stephen because he didn't show up, and you must be present to win, as the contest rules state. So send me a direct message in Zoom. Don't message everybody because then everyone will see your vote. Yes, you can vote for yourself. Send me a direct message and vote for Shayna, Adrian, or Irene to win, and I'll count up the votes. All right. Not all of you are following directions. Some people are voting for more than one person. Some people are voting for Stephen, in though he's disqualified because he didn't show up to claim a prize if he won. But of all the people who actually followed directions and voted for one person who was actually here, the winner is Shayna. Congratulations, Shayna.
Good job.
Thank you.
I will send you,
Thank you, Bruce. I think it's kind of, it's both of us. So.
if you want to send half your $100 to Bruce, that's up to you.
Okay, cool.
All right. All right. Take out